This practice opens with Wise Owl turns its head and 2 other qigong practices in order to nourish mind, body, and spirit. We then turn to a loving gaze awareness practice, which helps train the mind to relax, soften, and release when noticing oneself hooked by a difficult thought or emotion. We'll come into a standing posture, feet hip-width apart. And on an in-breath, we'll raise arms up the side body and then bringing them down, bringing palms together right below the navel as you consent to be breathed in by the universe, the divine. Breathing in through back body, receiving nourishment, exhale, releasing and letting go. Keeping an inner gaze upon the breath. On your next inhale, raising hands in front of you, clasping fingers overhead as you face skyward. And on the exhale, arms lower down the sides. And on your next in-breath, rising back up, fingers will clasp when they're at about forehead level. Reaching skyward, if you want to come up on the feet, when your hands go up, you can, you don't need to. In-breath, again, clasping fingers, raising skyward, receiving, letting go. The knees can bend if you want on this exhale. We're working with lung and heart meridian here, helping release any sadness. Opening the heart space. Bending at the elbows, exhale, guiding any stress out through the soles of the feet as we transition to Wise Owl turns its head. Breathing in, the head and fingers turn to the side, exhale, facing front. In breath, head turns the other way, exhale, facing front. We'll continue this synchronized movement, turning the head and fingers out to the sides, rotating the arms fully so that when the head's in the center, the fingers turn inward toward the body. Again, we're working with heart and lung meridian to release any sadness or sorrow and to help increase equanimity, rebalance, to help find joy. We'll transition now to our final qigong practice before our seated meditation. Hands will come to the back of the kidneys, and on a exhale, forward fold, let the hands slide down the backs of the legs, and on an in-breath, up the front body, reaching all the way skyward on the in-breath. Exhale, hands come down, returning to the back of the kidneys, and repeating. On an exhale, forward fold. On an in-breath, rising all the way up. Arms and face go overhead, opening to the heavens, to the wisdom and love of our loving ancestors, to spirit. We'll let the arms come back down to the sides, bringing the feet together, palms come up, bending at the elbow, exhale, releasing any negativity or stress out through the soles of the feet to become compost into earth. We transition now to our seated loving gaze practice. And I invite you to sit towards the front edge of your chair, if in a chair, with the feet on the floor or earth, sitting tall, collarbones up, shoulders back, and heart space vibrant. Eyes are closed or lowering the gaze. And bringing your awareness now to the back body behind the heart space and solar plexus. Again, consenting to be breathed in or prayed in by the universe, the divine. And we'll bring to mind now the loving or appreciating gaze of an ancestor, someone who expressed unconditional love to you. It can be a sacred figure or a teacher or a beloved pet's unconditional love, or a spirit guide, like a wise owl in the woods who looks or gazes at you as you look with appreciation and wonder back. Connecting with the visceral feeling of love, tenderness, appreciation, or awe. Just pick one, and we'll stay with that energy of love for a few moments here. You don't need to tether yourself to the visual image. We're trying to connect lightly as a feather. This will become our perch for when we notice the mind wandering or hooked by a thought or feeling. We'll touch it lightly also when we bring our awareness back to our main perch, which will be the back space behind the heart and solar plexus. We'll take another moment with each in-breath being infused with a visceral feeling of appreciation, tenderness, love, wonder. And on the exhalation, relaxing, releasing. On your next exhale, relaxing and releasing even more. And you can release the gaze from that visceral feeling. Let the mind go where it wants, to the spaces between the breaths and thoughts. Being effortless. But when noticing yourself lost in a thought, returning to that gaze, that loving gaze. And again to the back body. as needed. Turning your inner gaze upon the loving, appreciating gaze, staring back at you. As you then return to the anchor point on the body behind heart space. Now opening the eyes if they're closed, and continuing the practice of being aware of awareness itself, resting within the shrine of the heart. And then relaxing and sensing the visceral feeling of something larger than yourself in this moment, gazing at you with appreciation as needed throughout the day as you gaze back. May you, those you love and those you may struggle to love, all sense a vaster and deeper sense of self this day within the larger reality of which we are part. Namaste.